Indeed, it does. This fight begins right now. Hi, my name is Shane Schultz. I hope you enjoyed my motivational video, Arisen Strength. After all, I made it for you. That's right, it was made for you, and I'll explain in just a moment. Some of you might recognize me from the Random Thoughts podcast, and others might have seen or heard me speak on behalf of my company, Serenely Speaking. As you know, over the past week I've been having a countdown of sorts where I'm about to reveal a surprise that I've been working on for a while now. Well, tonight's the night, and I promise I'm going to share that with you shortly. But before I do, I'd like to ask you a question. Have you ever abandoned a dream or a talent that you had, leaving it incomplete and unfulfilled even to your eyes? Maybe there was something that happened or an experience that occurred in your life that suppressed that dream you once had, leaving it deeper and deeper within you until you finally said to yourself that it just wasn't meant to be, or worse yet, you actually gave up on it and let it become a distant thought at best. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there are a lot of challenges that are out there in this world of ours. Some are not so pleasant to talk about. In fact, some are more than just not pleasant, to say the least. Unfortunately, there are a lot of you out there who know exactly what I'm talking about. And yes, I'm talking to you. Maybe you had a passing of a friend or a family member, someone that you cared for so much that you could never move on from the pain and loss it left you in. Maybe you lived or even still live in a situation where you were abused, physically and or verbally. I know that some of you are out there finding yourself being bullied, whether it be in person or in the cyber world, leaving you feeling small and even less than that. There's no doubt that too many of you have had some very tough situations and experiences in your life that I'm sure you wish you had never happened at all. I know because I'm right there with you. You see, I personally lived the majority of my life with chronic depression and post-traumatic stress disorder, otherwise known as PTSD. I've also been taken advantage of sexually as an adult, leaving me with the memories that just never seem to go away. All of this was a contributing factor for me, so much so that I found myself in the world of addiction and all the wreckage that it was bound to leave me in. And yes, I've been to the place where taking my own life seemed to not only be an option, but more of an answer. If any of this pertains to you, I think you're about to like what I'm about to say. You see, tonight we're going to give all those dreams and talents a chance to live again. Tonight, I'm excited and proud to announce that I'll be hosting a live podcast every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern called Arisen Strength. Now, I know that some of you may not know what a podcast is. Well, picture a radio talk show with a video camera, and there you have it. It's nothing more complicated than that. Now, I want to make it clear that this show is not only meant for those who have struggled with only the challenges I've mentioned so far. In fact, there are so many different kinds of challenges that are out there that we could never possibly mention them all. So let's get to what Arisen Strength really is about. Folks, there are just too many dreams and talents that are out there among us that have been suppressed for whatever reason. Not only does the person that has those unique skills and potential miss out on their opportunities, but we all are deprived of the mark that would have been made in our minds and in our hearts. Think about it. Some of the most memorable moments in history, sports, and even entertainment would have never been part of our lives if those aspirations were hidden away and never pursued. So with that in mind, Arisen Strength was born on a three-position concept: support, encourage, and to celebrate. Now, it's important to understand that I'm not a doctor, nor am I a therapist of any kind, and that this show is not to replace any professional treatment that you may or may not yet be part of. What I am is someone who can relate with a lot of you out there, having found yourself worse for the wear due to the challenges that you've endured. And as a result, taking the once bright light of your hopes and dreams to what is now overshadowed or even non-existent in your mind today. Well, you know what? It's time to bring that light back. So here's my plan. Starting January 22nd, Arisen Strength will be there to support, encourage, and to celebrate with you, the audience. Now, you might say, Shane, I've always wanted to be an astronaut. So are you saying you can help me catch a ride to the moon? Well, no, that's not something I could ever guarantee, but that doesn't mean I won't encourage you. You see, the truth is that some of our talents are really not made for fame or for riches or even popularity. No, in my opinion, we all have been given something that's unique to us in our own being. I remember a mentor of mine who always would say, "We are all specially and uniquely made." Folks, that's what Arisen Strength is all about. Maybe you do have the ability to go out there on stage and make the audience sing and cheer. While some of us were definitely made to lead and organize, just as important, some of us were meant to be caretakers and great supporters. The point is that we'll never know unless we're able to get you to see and feel the light of possibility again. So you're probably asking by now, all right, how are you going to do that? Well, believe it or not, it's not as hard as you think. And the reason I say that is because you already have the talent or that dream that's within you. It just needs the light of new knowledge and some nurturing to bring it back to where you can actually feel it once again. Now we're going to talk about some tough subjects, ones that are not only difficult to talk about, but for some, they can be the lock and key of their own pain and suffering within. I have to tell you that I'm really excited about our special guest that we plan for this show. I have no doubt that they will help shine the light on the myths and truths about not only what keeps us down, but even what makes us apathetic to reaching our own goals. And after that, they're going to show us how to make changes so we can ensure better results in the future. We're also going to encourage you, the audience, to participate with the show by utilizing numerous ways to communicate with us during the airing of the show and throughout the week. We can have you tell us your story or to simply ask a question that you need help with so you can see the possibilities that are out there for you and how they're attainable again. Wow, that's a whole lot that we've committed to doing. But guess what? I saved the best for last. The cherry on the sundae, so to speak. You see, this is where we learn about amazing people who have found themselves being challenged, just like you and me. Stories like Wilma Rudolph, who at one time was the fastest running woman in the world and had won 3 Olympic gold medals in spite of her battle with polio. Martin Pistorius, who suffered from locked-in syndrome, where he was literally unable to move or even communicate for the better part of 14 years, and yet he became an author, an entrepreneur, and an inspiration to so many. We also have stories like Jillian Jensen, who has recently been on both The X Factor and American Idol, pursuing her singing career in spite of being severely bullied during her years at school. When hearing the stories of these wonderful people and others like them, it can do no less than to give you the hope and the motivation needed to bring your own success story to light. Folks, that is what Arisen Strength is all about. So please, join me on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, and together we will bring those talents and dreams to where they belong. And then you can tell the challenges that you face, this fight has only now begun.